Okay, so, hey, I am very, very behind on videos. I apologize. So this is going to be my February reading wrap-up. I have some books that were on my TBR, some books that wasn't. So let's go with my February TBR. So, Nexus, the second book in the Andromeda Saga. Legendary Carval Book 2, Finale, Carval number 3, Rogue Lawyer, Along for the Ride, Just After Sunset, Lore, and Blackout. Those were all on my February TBR. I didn't get to Nexus. I started Legendary, but that was a continuation for March, and I did finish it for March, and you'll hear about that in March's Reading Wrap-Up. Finale I didn't get to, but it's March, so I'm on it now. Rogue Lawyer I didn't get to. I did get to Along for the Ride, so let's talk about that. So, Along for the Ride, Sarah Dessen. I gave it 4 stars. I like her writing. I like her writing style. I like the storyline. It does take me a minute. This is where I would talk about just a little bit of what it's about without giving anything away, but I kind of forgot what it was about. If I'm not mistaken, okay, yeah, this was about the girl named Auden. She ended up going for the summer to spend time with her dad and her stepmom. And the first sentence of the synopsis is, riding a bike is only one of the many things Auden's missed out on. And the second sentence is, even before her parents' divorce, she was cast in the role of little adult, never making waves, focusing on academics to please her demanding mother. So, there's that. The second book I got to was... Oh, also, I didn't get to Stephen King Just After Sunset. I decided not to read that one. Lore, I didn't get to. Blackout, I decided not to read yet. Crooked Kingdom, Six of Crows, Book 2, I did get to, and The Fear, I got to. So, let's do Crooked Kingdom, which is Leigh Bardugo, Six of Crows, Book 2. I really loved this one, but I gave it 4 stars. For me, 4 stars is I really enjoyed it, but it was something that kept me from giving it 5 stars. Do I remember why I didn't give it 5 stars? No. I just remember, giving it 4 stars because I have it written down in my notebook. But it's been said that you can read Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom, this duology, without reading the Shadow and Bone trilogy. At first, I was like, you can. But I wouldn't, and I didn't. I didn't want to go into this, Six of Crows, without reading Shadow and Bone. So I did read the Shadow and Bone trilogy. The first one I liked. The second one, I was off and on deciding to DNF it. I didn't. I finished it. And then I read book 3. They were okay overall. But I do think Six of Crows, this duology is better than Shadow and Bone trilogy. And that is just my opinion. So, also, what else was on the TBR? Okay, Natasha Denona, The Fear. I really liked this one. I gave it 4 stars also. This was about a meme that went around a small fishing town. It was people reposting and sharing their biggest fear, but then classmates started turning up dead, dying the way that they said that was their biggest fear. So, I liked this. I gave it 4 stars. It was just something that kept me from giving it 5. The Bad Place, Dean Koontz. This was part of January's TBR, but it carried over to this month. Well, for February. I gave this one 3 stars, and I have a question mark next to it in my notebook. Dean Koontz, when I was, younger, teenage years, early adult, he was one of my favorite authors. And I stood by that for the longest time, even after I got into other authors and opened up, my brain for different genres and everything. But now I realized that, I have all these other authors that I like more. And unfortunately, Dean Koontz, yes, I still like him as an author, but it is hit or miss for me. Like, this was good. What was this about? I don't even remember what it's about. I have no idea what this was about. It's been so long. I don't even know why I'm doing a reading wrap-up for February. I don't know. Today is the 14th of March. I'm going to edit it, you know, the little quick editing that I do, and then post it today. I am behind on videos, so instead of one video going up a week for this month, this week is going to get 3. And I apologize that it's not on a tripod. I'm holding my phone because I use my camera on my phone. So I apologize if the quality's not great, if it's a little shaky. And again, I'm not on camera, but a lot of my videos, I'm not. And anyway, I'm rambling. But at least I'm putting the video up, I guess. I do need to get better about putting it on the tripod and getting angles right and being on camera more. But anyway, I think that is everything that was on the TBR. I did finish... No. Legendary was carried over for March, so I won't be talking about that here. So let's talk about what's not on the TBR that I read. The Housemaid, Book 1 by Freida McFadden. I really liked this. I gave it 3 stars. Now, here's the thing. Yes, I liked it. So you would think I'd give it 4 stars. But the reason I didn't is because the first part is about the main character. What was her name? The wife was Nina. What was the main character's name? Oh, Millie. She gets this job with a couple who has a little girl, and she becomes their, you know, maid. She cleans, cooks, whatever. But going by her side of the story, the wife is just crazy, and the wife irritated me. And then the husband seemed really nice. Well, then I got to thinking, you know, well, maybe not everything is what it seems, right? And Lord knows that was true. Because when it gets to Nina's part, you realize some things. So, is the wife really as crazy as she is? Is the husband as nice as he seems? I know the answers to this. If you've read this book, you know the answers to this. If you haven't, I don't want to answer those questions because I don't want to give anything away. I did end up getting book 2. I really think you could just read this and be done because this story finishes up at the end. Book 2, yes, it's the same main character, but it's a different family that she works for, so you don't have to read book 2. I'm going to. But I did give this 3 stars. I do recommend it. It was just at first, the wife really irritated me and got on my nerves. And that's why I didn't give it any higher of a rating. Now, you would think now that I know what I know, I would give it higher, but I can't, and I won't. So that's why I gave it 3 stars. So anyway, Sinners Anonymous. This is book 1. There's only 3 books out so far. This is book 1. The main character, female main character is Rory Carter. Then you've got Angelo Vicious and Scotty. This is a dark mafia romance. And that's all I'm going to say. I don't want to really talk about this one because I did read the other 2. And I don't want to get anything mixed up. But I gave this, what did I say I gave this? I gave this 4 stars. I really did like this. And then Tri-Six Venom, Penelope Douglas. This I gave 4 stars. I apologize. I don't remember half of what I read. Is anybody else like that? Because this is getting on my nerves. Like, if I would have done this sooner, I'd probably remember more. But I did give this 4 stars. The main characters are Clay and Olivia. This is a chunk, I will say. Penelope Douglas, for me, she became one of my favorite authors after I read Birthday Girl. That Birthday Girl was the first book I've read by her. And now I've got a bunch of her standalones, if not all of them, that's out so far. Then I've got the Bully series, and then I've got I don't remember the name of that other series, but I have 2 series in here by her. So, yeah, one of my favorite authors now. And again, I'm sorry, I don't remember half of what I've read. Lessons in Sin. Oh, my Lord have mercy. That's all I've got. So it's about a priest. And I'm going to go ahead and close this so YouTube doesn't say, oh, naked people or person. A priest isn't supposed to look like what that guy looks like on the cover. A priest isn't supposed to do what he does in the book. This is spicy, so, and it's a dark, would it be considered dark? Would a priest being like that be considered dark romance? You know what? Because it's spicy and because the priest ends up how he ends up, I'm going to call this a dark romance. If I'm wrong and you've watched it to this point, let me know in the comments that I'm wrong. But I will say it's spicy. And I will say, I guess because I said priest, you get the point that it's Catholic. But anyhow, I did like the story. I will say this. The priest, he works at this Catholic school. And this other main character, the female main character, she ends up having to go to this school because she got into a bunch of trouble. So there is an age gap. Would it be forced proximity simply because him and her have to spend time together because he runs the school and he's a teacher? And if you heard my dog, yeah, she snorted. She's behind me asleep. So I don't know. Forced proximity, maybe? Definitely age gap. And then the whole Catholic school thing. So there's that for this one. And then I read Kiss Her Once for Me. It's about two girls, winter, and then she spends this one day with this girl, and then fast forward, she ends up meeting this guy who's rich, and they do like a fake marriage or engagement type thing. And then there's something that happens. I guess you would call it a wow factor if you didn't guess it. She also does, it's a type of art, like she does these comics. And I'm sounding stupid trying to explain this. But this is by Allison Cochran. Oh, Lessons in Sin is by Pam Godwin. I gave Kiss Her Once for Me 4 stars. I really enjoyed it, but it was something about it that, I don't know. And then The Fear was Natasha Preston. The Housemaid, Frida McFadden, and Sinners Anonymous, Same Sketcher. And if I didn't pronounce that right, I apologize. Last book, Heartbones by Colleen Hoover. Colleen Hoover is one of my favorite authors. I really love this. So, Bea Grimm has only known a life of poverty and neglect. After surviving by any means necessary, she finally has a hard-earned ticket out of Kentucky with a full ride to Penn State. 2 short months before she's finally free, an unexpected death leaves her homeless and forced to spend the remainder of her summer on a peninsula in Texas with a father she barely knows. Begging the summer to go by quickly and hoping to remain as invisible as possible, Bea wants nothing to do with Samson, the wealthy, brooding guy who lives next door to her father and who couldn't possibly understand where Bea is coming from or what she's been through. But with an almost immediate connection, too intense for them to deny, and futures leading them to opposite ends of the country, Bea and Samson decide to stay in the shallow end of a summer fling, neither of them realizing that a rip current is about to drag both of their hearts out to sea. And yes, I just read the synopsis on the back. Because again, yes, I've read these, and if I sat here thinking about it long enough, I could remember probably what each of them were about, but honestly, I don't have time for that. My camera, the storage isn't much because I'm using my phone. So anyway, I gave this 5 stars, obviously, because it's Colleen Hoover. So that's my reading wrap up for February. I know it's not that great. It's 14 minutes of rambling, I'm sure. But if you got this far, please like it. I appreciate it. And that's it for February's reading wrap up. Have a great day.